and different tools you can use in your
Just
labs
started
and what
recording.
you're
Just started
required to
recording.
know.
So you can proceed.
So, in this session, we'll be looking into virtual machines, VM, Kali, a brief introduction into Kali Linux, TryHackMe, and HackTheBox.
Okay,
We
see
all
waiting
know
this guy gets.
Linux is an operating system, and a
Let's
lot
see
of
what he's got.
cybersecurity professionals use Linux. And Kali Linux is a cybersecurity operating system, more like you have all the tools you need in that operating system. So we'll do a brief recap of what we discussed on Monday with Goswell, who was your host, who was a facilitator for Monday, as to what cybersecurity is. So cybersecurity is the practice of protecting systems, networks, data from attacks. And in the last session, we mentioned it's mostly
Come,
divided
I'm trying to log
into
into the
two
email.
parts, although there are other teams. There's the purple team, which they have I think it's a gap between red and blue. And the offensive security is these are the guys that attack your pen testers and the rest. They are the red
No
team.
pressure, no
And
pressure.
the
Just do your thing.
defensive
There's no rush.
Abi?
security, these
I
are
just want to
the
do
blue
like
these are the blue
that,
team,
add that sense
your
of urgency.
SOC
It's important.
analyst,
No,
your
keep doing
incident
now. It's mine
responder,
itself that's even
and
better
the
for us
rest.
system. You get.
Mm-hmm.
So,
If I announce it, then you get
how do
everything
you
else.
learn cybersecurity? How do you practice cybersecurity? You can tell with different tech roles, different tech areas like software engineering, data science. You can easily just pull up your IDE and start practicing coding and looking at concept and designing and the rest, so on and so forth. But cybersecurity is somewhat different because you require hands-on practice in safe environment, emphasis on the safe environment. Because, for example, you want to analyze a malware, and you thinking you're doing it well, you decided to download the malware file into your computer to analyze it. Mind you, just because you're trying to analyze this malware does not mean it cannot infect your computer. So the idea is to find a safe environment to practice cybersecurity, these skills required for cybersecurity operations. And that takes us to what cybersecurity lab is. So a cybersecurity lab is a controlled and isolated environment used to practice cybersecurity skills. So the idea is to take real world activities, real world files, and practice in a controlled, isolated environment that is not as that is not the same as your primary computer. So, in order to avoid damage to real systems like your computers, your network, we use labs. These labs are designed to be isolated and safe in a controlled space where you can practice. So, in these labs, you can test your hacking, your defense tools, and so on and so forth. Some of these tools are like the Nmap and the GoBuster, the Splunk, the Splunk IDS, and so on. So before you start hacking, before you start practicing how to hack devices, it is very important you know the legal and ethical rules that guides these operations. Number one, you only have permission, you only have the right, you only have authority to test on your own systems. You have permission to test on your own systems, your own devices, your own network. Because the very minute you go outside your network, your own devices, you leave legal platforms like TryHackMe and HackTheBox. The very minute you go out of this space, you are now bounded by law, the legal aspect, the ethical rules that guides these things. The very second you decide that, oh, I want to try seeing if I could hack into Miva's resort portal. The very second you do that, know you are committing a crime. And it doesn't matter if you're practicing. If Miva find out, their cybersecurity team find out, and they trace this back to you, you would face the law to this. There's no, oh, I did not know I can't do that. Oh, I did not know. I was not aware. You cannot say that. You would first of all go to jail, court, jail, before you would say, okay,
See, they call
it was a
jail
mistake. So
careful.
never attack school, workplace, or any public network. Never practice, never try anything on these
Question is, can you stop here? I'm not
platforms,
practicing
these
it on public
organizations
network.
without explicit permission to do so. There are some cases where you have bounty hunters. I don't know if everyone have know what bounty hunters is. These are the guys that try to find bug hunters and so on. But these are white hat hackers. They do it for the the good of the systems. So you have an example is recently a 0-day vulnerability was discovered in uh, Apple devices in the iOS, and these 0-day if the malware is sent to you by a mobile number and it's in your phone, you don't even know it's there, and it does not even need you to click on anything for it to start monitoring your device. I think it was called Pegasus, and I'm sure some of you have heard about Pegasus before. It's a malicious software that once it's on your phone, you don't know it's there, but it monitors everything you're doing. And it was discovered that a team of Google uh, testers and found this vulnerability on iOS devices, and I'm sure Apple tried initiated an update in order to try and patch this and provide uh, a solution to this. So this is some of these some people who have permission, who have the access and the right to carry out some of this testing because it's for the good of the systems, not for any not to cause any harm. So the first primary software you would need in order to carry out your tests, your practices, it's a virtual machine. What is a virtual machine, you might ask? A virtual machine or a virtual computer, it's a computer that runs within your real computer. So within your laptop, you can have another desktop, another laptop, another operating system running in the virtual machine. And an example of this is the VirtualBox and VM workstation. But for the purpose of this session, this our workshop, we'll be utilizing the VirtualBox. But if you already have VMware, you can as well use it. It's fine. Does anyone here already have a VM workstation, VMware workstation? Victor, do you have VMware workstation or VirtualBox? Or this is your first time hearing about VirtualBox and virtual machine? That's completely fine as well. So I want to hear from you. Adela, do you have a VirtualBox on your laptop?
No, not at.
You don't. Oh, have you heard about
No.
the term before?
Yes, I have.
All right, so we'll be introducing you to how to use and install this on your system because it's very much needed for what we're about to go into. So, Daniel, what about you?
No, no,
Is this your first time coming across the virtual
no.
machine ideology?
Pastor, then this is my first time.
Your background is noisy, so can you mute your mic, please? You
This
can
is my
use the
first time.
you can use the chat as well. All right, you said it's your first time, so we'll go into more details in this as we go on. So you can go ahead and mute your mic, so we'll proceed.
Cool.
So let's move forward. So this session is more about trying to practically and doing some hands-on practice. So what is VectorBox? Like we mentioned in the previous slide, if your mic is on, kindly mute it.
Sorry, Matthew.
I mentioned in the previous slide, VirtualBox is a software that lets you run a computer inside your computer. So you can install Kali Linux in your VirtualBox and you can carry out operation without it affecting any of your main computer. So you can run a malware in the VirtualBox. Let's say you have a Windows virtual machine. You can run it, you can run a malware and see how the malware affects the machine, how the malware initiates itself, carry out whatever is designed to do. So once you see this, you can close that virtual machine and everything is gone. Even though that machine is infected, you can delete it, reinstall another one. Or once you close that session, it's gone. So you've seen how the malware works. Now you can go ahead and analyze it. So in doing this, you end up safely practicing cybersecurity without breaking anything, without compromising your own device. And you can delete and reset it at any time you want. So what is Kali Linux? A lot of us have heard about Linux, and I believe some of us utilize Linux instead of Windows and uh, Mac, Mac OS. So Linux is an operating system and is designed for penetration testing. It comes pre-installed with security tools that you can use for. It comes with some security tools you can use for enumeration, exploitation, analysis, scanning, and so on and so forth. So some of the important Kali tools Red Team use is Nmap. I'm sure a lot of you have heard about Nmap before. Nmap is a short form for network mapping. So it helps you discover open ports and running services in a network. You're not legally allowed to scan any device IP address that you're not authorized to. So a lot of restriction comes with practicing cybersecurity, and you should take note of that. GoBuster is used to find hidden directories, and Netcat is used to interact with network services. Wireshark is used to analyze network traffic. And Wireshark is also used by SOC analysts, the blue team, because you have to analyze the network to make sure that there's no malicious program being sent across your network, and how to download and install VirtualBox. So in this session, we'll go through how to download the VirtualBox, I already have it on my computer. I have the VMware workstation as well. So I would take step by step, and I would like everyone to follow along. So if you all can go to your browser and click on this virtualbox.org, make sure you're only downloading it from this official site. So you can go ahead and click on it now. I would give everyone some time to do that. So this is VirtualBox, and you can come here and click on download.
Go back to the link, sir.
Is everyone following? If you're on your computer right now, grab your laptop,
Go back to the link.
open virtualbox.org, and once you open this, you can click on download. So I want to make sure everyone is on the same page right now.
Please go back to the link. See, I don't copy the link. Can you hear me, Mr.
Stella, are
Mario?
you following?
Please go back to the link. Can you hear me?
Yes, I am. I'm following.
All right, Victor, what about you?
Waiting with this now. Which one?
Perfection. Nice name, Perfection. Are you following?
She's tips, ba.
You can drop a message in chat so we know you're following. So once you do this and you click on downloads, and you will notice there's no other. You can see the different distribution, but what you have to do is click on accept and download. So these are like if you want to read it, you're more than welcome to read it. So these are the terms and conditions, some licensing instructions, and so on. So once you're done going through this, if you want to, you can click accept and download. VMware workstation. I decided to open VMware Workstation as well. I'm not sure if you already have it, so I'm just going to introduce this to you so you know and you're aware of what VMware Workstation is. So I would just open the one on my computer so you see as well. But for the purpose of this, you should download stick with Oracle VirtualBox. So let me know if you've accepted and you downloaded it so we can move forward. But in the meantime, this is how the VMware workstation looks like. So on your screen now, what you can see is the VMware workstation, and it's mostly used by professionals because this is a pro version, and it's mostly used by professionals in the industry. So in the industry, you mostly come across the VMware workstation, and it's the same thing as the VirtualBox. They have the same similar functions as well. You can see here that I already have a Windows 10 virtual machine here. So this is an example of how you can use the VirtualBox and VMware as well. Can everyone see my screen? If you're done downloading VirtualBox, please signify in chat. So if you're done downloading the VirtualBox, please say that so in chat. Let us know.
I'm still checking it.
I'm yet to see anyone responding. I guess you guys are still downloading it. If you're done, just kindly signify in chat so we move on. I just want this to finish loading up so I can show you what it looks like. Then we'll go back to VirtualBox. Has anyone finished? Adela, have you finished downloading your VirtualBox? If you're done, kindly let us know in chat. Hemi, Victor, Perfection. All right, so one person is done with the download. Adela, are you done with yours? All right. Daniel is done.
You're on. No, I'm asking you.
Victor, what about you?
What the fuck? My eye don't be done again. I need to change my glasses. Just check this.
One more person.
Like,
If one more person is done, we'll proceed. Hemi, are you done? So while Windows is still loading up, we'll go back to VirtualBox. So we're back here, and if you're still on this page, you click on download, click on. It takes a while to download. I'm not sure how long it takes. I can't remember the last time I was doing it. But you can go ahead and open your VirtualBox. Now, let's open VirtualBox.
Guys, get this thing. I won't be the cocoa. I'll be waiting. It's the problem. I'll be waiting now.
Anyone else done? Adela, are you done? So let's move on regardless. So if you're unable to start yours, if you're unable to get yours downloaded,
Mr. Mario,
yes,
is it the platform package you download or the extension pack?
I
Is
let
it the
me
platform
go.
pack or the extension pack?
I downloaded the extension pack. I think you can click on your host as well and download the one that is specific to your Windows or so. So just click on any of this icon here. So if you're on Windows, click on this window host and it starts downloading. And the extension pack is something you can also download as well. So click on, if you're on Mac OS, click on Mac OS and it starts downloading. If you're on Linux, click on Linux and it's gonna download automatically. I think it's around 169 megabits. Bytes. So once you're done downloading the Windows, if you're on Windows, once you're done downloading the Windows one and you run it, you can go ahead and run it and go ahead. I think let's proceed back to let's go back to our slides. So once you're done downloading, click next, install, and if it prompts you, then finish installation. Move forward to downloading Kali Linux our on our device. So this might take some time. So we would not go ahead to download Kali Linux because downloading Kali takes around 305 gig to download Kali. So if you think it's absolutely useful, you want to practice on Kali Linux on your own in your device, you can go ahead download it in your own time. And I don't think we have the time to wait that for 3.5 hours, 3.5 gig. It's gonna take a whole long time to download. So once you click on the link, it takes you to the official website. Always, always download from the official website. Don't go download from some website and it's not kali.org. If it's not kali.org, do not download to avoid infecting your computer with virus or something. So you can see there's two versions here. The installer images version where you build everything yourself. But for beginners, we recommend downloading the virtual machine version. So you can see the VMware. It stated that this is for VMware and VirtualBox pre-built images. so you don't have to absolutely set the images yourself, do all the setup yourself. So this just allows you to download an already pre-built version directly to your virtual machine. So once you download this version and it's completed, you can now go on and open Kali on your device. I'm going to show you how the VectorBox looks like in a minute. But like I said, we advise you download the virtual machine version. So on your own time, once you download this, you can go ahead and practice yourself. So this is how the VectorBox look like. It was developed by Oracle for running VMs. Iman, I advise you, it's 3.5 gig, sorry, 3.5 gig, not 305 gig. Iman, I advise you download the one specific to your machine. Do not download the extracting packages if your machine does not allow it. Just go ahead and download this one. So once you click on download, I advise you just click on whatever machine you're running on. If you're on Windows, click on Windows. If you're on Mac OS, click on Mac OS. If the extension pack works for you, it's fine. And if you're on Linux, click on this one and it automatically starts downloading. If you see, once I click it and I come to my downloads page, it's already here. So I advise you do the same. The same goes for Mac OS if you're on Mac OS, and the same goes for Linux. I'm not sure anyone is using Solaris here. So is that clear for you, Iman? Iman, does that answer your question? The screenshot you sent?
I think my storage is also full, which contributed to that.
Oh, all right, no problem. Well, you can follow the slides later on and still do it. I thought I was even showing you my screen. So this is how VirtualBox look like. Once you've downloaded the Kali Linux or whatever Windows machine, Windows 10 has its own virtual machine as well. You can search for Windows 10 virtual machine and it's going to pop up and you can download from the official website. So you can open a saved VirtualBox. So if you click on open saved, it goes to your file and you find where it was downloaded. Maybe it was on downloads, then you can click on it. It opens the folder on your VirtualBox. So once it opens the folder, same way we did in the VMware, same way I showed you how I opened the Windows one, it's the same thing you do. So once that is done, the operating system loads up, and once that loading process completes, you can start trying the command prompt, the Wireshark, the different pre-installed tools there. So once you have this is the first step, and in your own time, you should go through getting Kali Linux. So because of time, we'll move on. Just for that. So let's continue. I hope everyone can hear me. So, for blue team tools and skills, you would need Wireshark, knowledge of Wireshark. These here are very important in the industry currently. Wireshark is widely used, and Splunk. Splunk is a system detection endpoint management tool. So Splunk is mostly used to log analysis, threat detection, analyze threats, and manage threat, resolve them as well. So OSINT is open source intelligence. That's the meaning of OSINT. And if we open the OSINT framework right now, this is the OSINT framework. And these are tools that are open source and you can utilize when you want. And example of this is the malicious file analysis. So if you want to use a tool here, you can search one of this. And another important thing for Blue Team is Virus Total. Virus Total is used to analyze files that you believe are malicious. So once you think your file is malicious, you go on Virus Total, and once it opens, you open this page for you. You upload your documents, the malicious file, and it's going to give you details of the malware. For the open source contain known malwares. So VirusTotal has the log of every known malware that has been used before. So once you choose the file you want to upload and you upload it, it gives you reading and analysis of that file. I do not have any malicious file in my device right now, so I cannot display an example. But going forward, we might do an example in one of our next session, how VirusTotal is used. So this is used to analyze malicious files. And if you upload the file here, it's going to give you the type of malware that is in that file and some information about it that might help you. And note, VirusTotal does not give you every single detail of malicious file. So sometimes if you upload a file and it tells you that there's no malware on that file, do not go with that, because like I said previously, VirusTotal is used to it analyzes known malwares. So for example, an attacker sent a malware that has not been used before, and you upload the file here, it's going to show you that the file is safe, because in the log, the database of the VirusTotal, that malware has never been seen before. So if it has never been seen, there's no way it has information about it. So professionals are always advised, like, if you go online, you will see memes about VirusTotal. You don't always rely on it. So it's more like a guide. If you post a file there and it tells you there's a malware, you already know that file is compromised or that link is compromised. You can even post URLs. So you can post links here and it tells you the link is compromised and so on. You can post file as well. So if you post something and it does not, it tells you, oh, it's safe, or it's no information. That does not mean the file is safe. Note that it does not mean the file is safe. It means it did not find anything in correspondence to what it has in its systems. So it's a very important tool that is used in cybersecurity, especially for blue teams. Attackers use open source as well. Attackers use open source intelligence. You can see public records, so many things on open source. In your advice, in your own time, go through it and go through the different aspects and see. So there's so much information here that you can go through. These are different website to see webcams that are open. So I'm not advising you to use them or spying on anybody. Don't say Marriott asked you can use them. No, I did not. Disclaimer right now. So let's move on. I'm sure you know what OSINT is now, open source intelligence. You know what VMs are. You know what they call VectorBox is. You know what Kali Linux is. So Wireshark. Let me pull up Wireshark on my device. I advise you download Wireshark as well in your own time and practice with Wireshark. Analyze your Wi-Fi network. You can analyze the traffic in your network and so on. And one important thing is you have to decide, as a cybersecurity student, you have to decide what area you want to specialize in. It's very important. What area of cybersecurity do you want to specialize in? So you have to decide and start practicing tools that are related, that are necessary. So if you've decided that, oh, I want testing part, look for tools that pen testers use and practice those tools. Not just any tool, but industry used ones. Practice them, know how they are used. If you want to be part of a blue team, you have to practice how blue team tools work. For example, Wireshark, Splunk, see some open source intelligence, how to analyze a malware, how to write report on your malware analysis. You have to do these practices. So you, once you said, oh, I want to be a blue team, I want to be a SOC analyst, I want to be a cybersecurity analyst, a consultant, and so on, you don't end up directing your attention to hacking. Like I said, cybersecurity is not just ethical hacking. It's the defensive side as well, the blue teamers. So you can focus, learn the skills that are required for blue teams. It's very important as well. A lot of blue team roles are available out there. So young people always think, students always think, oh, it's ethical hacking for cybersecurity, it's about hacking. No, it's not. So you can focus on this area you want to specialize in. So this is how Wireshark looks like. This example of Wireshark, remind me later. So this is, sorry about that, my screen again. So I'm gonna pull up Wireshark right now. So this is Wireshark. You can use to capture your traffic, analyze your traffic and so on. You can pull up a file. Let's say you have a log, a network log of all the analysis that passed through that day. You can open the file on Wireshark and see all the connections and whatever happens on the day. So this is Wireshark. You can, in your own time, go around, try to analyze your Wi-Fi traffic, what happens in your Wi-Fi, what is going through your Wi-Fi traffic as an example, and learn from that. I don't have a file as well on my laptop for us to analyze, but in our next session, we might pick a few areas, maybe and do a file analysis, a network file analysis, and so on. So this session is just introducing you to the different tools, installing them, and seeing getting an idea of how they work. So now let's go back. Sorry for my screen. So let's go back here. So basic incidents and response and log monitoring, incident response and log monitoring. These are tools and skills that a blue team member, if a SOC analyst, for example, needs to know. You have to have knowledge of Wireshark, Splunk. Splunk is widely used right now. If you have Splunk skills, you'll be your if you're looking for a job, it will be easier for you to get a role because a lot of new companies use Splunk for their analysis and their log analysis and threat detection. So let's move forward. So some lab resources for offensive practice. So if you're interested in offensive security, you can try learning on different platforms like TryHackMe. I advise you create a TryHackMe account. They have a student version where you can learn and practice on free resources. So TryHackMe free version limits you to only do an hour every day. You're only allowed to do an hour of work every day. So this is an example of a resource you could use. So I would have said we should go ahead and create a TryHackMe account and test some of their sessions, but I don't think we have time is running so fast, and I'm here to introduce everything. So this is TryHackMe. Let's move forward and introduce hack the box. So for defensive practice, you can also use TryHackMe. This defensive is the blue team. You can use TryHackMe. They have the blue team parts. So they have different parts. You can search for blue team parts and you can find something related to what you're trying to achieve. And there's Let's Defend as well. Let's Defend is a platform I personally use. I think I can share my screen to show you how Let's Defend looks like. Let's open Let's Defend. So you have an idea of it. They have a student cybersecurity part for students, and Let's Defend is now part of HackTheBox. HackTheBox recently acquired Let's Defend so they could collaborate and for their blue team aspect of things. So Let's Defend is only focused on blue team operations currently. And now HackTheBox. So if you have a HackTheBox account, you can link into Let's Defend as well. So this is Let's Defend. Let me refresh this page.
Sorry, my 36.
Wait, check for these lights.
I have checked this minute.
So these are the different parts available on Let's Defend. This is the moment you expect something to happen. It starts feeling you in the exact moment you need it to work. Well, let's see if we can go through it without signing in. I probably have to sign in my own time. Oh, I know why.
So I'm looking at like all those transactions that he did. Do we need to have
So for cybersecurity students and individuals who are looking to learn cybersecurity and get an overall idea of what cybersecurity is, you can take the cybersecurity for students part. It's free, so you don't have to pay for subscription or anything. So you can take it and introduces you to so many concepts. Introduces you to network fundamentals, Linux for blue team, network protocols, and so many things that would actually be good for you as a student. In malware analysis with Wireshark, we mentioned Wireshark earlier on, so you get an inside knowledge of how to use Wireshark here as a beginner. So malware analysis fundamentals, there are different things. I think if you consistently do this, you might be able to practice, get this thing done within a week. And trust me, if you do this, you'll be better than 60% of your peers right now at uni. So it provides you more knowledge and insights to cybersecurity for blue team. This is specifically for blue team. So return back to our slides and move on. So Security Onion is another one for advanced home lab. So if you want to build a home lab and use switches and so on, Security Onion is advisable for that. But firstly, I would advise you have knowledge of these processes before going to an advanced level. So let's take one live demo for HackTheBox. Let's do a HackTheBox live demo. And I would advise everyone to create your account, follow step by step, and let's do one right now. So go on your browser and click Academy, search for HackTheBox Academy. And in your own time, you can go through the slides and do these two live demos. You can do the demo for TryHackMe because our assignment would be on HackTheBox. Our advice we'll do a demo for HackTheBox now.
Mr. Mario, I have a question. Can you hear me, sir?
Are we still on the same page? Is everyone following?
Can you hear me, sir?
Adela,
Can
are
you hear
you
me,
still
sir?
with us?
Mr. Mario. Can you hear me, sir? Mr. Mario, can you hear me, sir?
Yo,
If
Mario.
you're lost, please see.
I think someone is trying to call. Maybe you muted him from your end, so you can't hear him.
Okay. Is that Daniel?
Daniel, yeah. I think you muted him, so you can't hear him. He has been trying to say something to you.
Daniel, sorry, go ahead.
Mr. Mario, can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Will the slide be dropped?
Yes, it will be dropped.
Okay, yes. I'm not following like that.
So let's do a. So you can after the session you can access the slides and go through it again and follow step by step again. So let's go through a HackTheBox live demo, and we'll create an account. We'll take a look at some of their some of the workshops, some of the labs they have as well, because we'll be utilizing some of their labs going forward. So if you're following me, Adela, Victor, are you following us?
I just started following now. I think I used a long time ago. I just
Okay,
got
let's,
so I'm returning
no
with the
problem.
signing up.
Let's do the Hack the Box sign up together. I already have an account, but I'll log out right now so you can see how to go about it. So all you have to do is academy.hackthebox.com. I'll post the link in the chat right now. So click on sign start for free. If you already have an account, you can just sign into your account. But if you don't, click on start for free and go to register. Since I already have an account, I'm not going to sign up. So you put your email and you sign up. Let me know if you're there, you're done with the sign up. Ella, are you following? Adela, are you with us? Imam, Adela, I can't hear you.
I'm here. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, I'm following you.
Okay, are you done with your sign up?
No, I'm still trying to do that.
All right. Once your sign up is complete, this is how your dashboard is going to look like. It might be confusing at first, but this is how it looks like. And once you're here, you can click on the different path to find out which path you want to do. So the first one here is a basic. It's a basic 2 sets path, and you can. They usually some cost some cubes, and you can earn cubes the more you spend time on the website. That's how you earn cubes, and you can also purchase as well. But for now, we'll try and stick to the free lab session. So once you're here, find a free path that is free. I think at the very beginning they give you about 60 cubes, I think, for free. And these 60 cubes you're given, you can use it to enroll for courses. You see, this one costs 20. You can decide to enroll for this one. This costs 40. Operating system fundamentals, you can decide to enroll for this. But for these sessions, I want to introduce you to the labs. So once you have your HackTheBox account, the Academy account, you can click on HackTheBox Labs on the side, and it redirects you to the lab page. And once you're there, you're going to see the different labs, and this is specifically for those interested in learning how to do penetration testing, some hacking skills. You're trying to improve your hacking skills. This is for you. So once you open the app, the labs. I think internet is slow on my end. All right, so this is the lab page. It looks a lot technical and tricky, but this is how some of your tools you use, they tend to look like. So let's find one of the labs, easier one. The easiest lab is Meow. So this is the Meow lab. You can see it's very easy. Basic Linux fundamentals you're going to use throughout this lab. And when you're about to start, you have to connect to the VPN, and it gives you 2 hours for free. So once you've exhausted your 2 hours, you have to wait till tomorrow. But I'm sure you can finish this lab within an hour. So you click on connect to the lab. It gives you the VPN, everything you need, and you can start the pawn box. Once you've deployed, your 2 hours starts counting. You can see the timer here. So once this VPN is fully configured, it's gonna start counting your time. And then you start the machine. See, the Wi-Fi is connected. It means your session has started. So you can start the machine, and it takes you through the lab. You can start doing the lab step by step. There are some instructions you could follow. Here is an information about the lab for those interested in testing. So Mia is very easy in Linux, which guys play on setting up the attacking machines, connecting to HackTheBox via VPN, and demonstrate the strategy of how to complete them. The machine focuses on beginner enumeration techniques. In one of our slides, we mentioned enumeration techniques and showcases the exploitation of a vulnerable telnet service. This is a network. Telnet is a network through default credentials. So you would hack this machine and gain access to it. There's also a video walkthrough of this lab, so you can download the PDFs and everything you need and read through the lab. You might start seeing some terms for the first time, so I advise to make it easier for you, you watch the video walkthrough for this Meow lab. So in our next session, on the live session, we'll do another lab together. It's called the fun lab. So in our next session, we'll do this one together. And in our next session, we'll do this lab together. And I hope everyone has been able to create their accounts. I hope you all have been able to create your account. So go through, these are just basic questions, Iman. Go through the questions, answer them, and set up your account. So today, it's like I said earlier, we're introducing the different tools we can use to practice cybersecurity and setting up our accounts in these different tools. So we introduce the virtual machine, VirtualBox.
Mr. Mario,
Yes?
the free accounts, right? Not the business accounts.
No, free account.
Okay, I've created mine.
Oh, all right. So, like I said, go through this lab in your time, and this is your assignment for this session. This Meow lab is the assignment. So, what I want you to do, your microphone is on, Daniel. So, what I want you to do for this lab is to go through this lab, solve it, write down your observation, write down your step by step, how you got it, how you ended up doing the lab. So in our next section, we'll take that session to everyone will tell us what you did, how you did it, and what your thoughts, what you learned, what new tool did you come across. That will be what we'll do in our next sessions. So in the next lab, we'll do the fun is the lab, the name of the lab. We'll do this one together to practice. So for those interested in blue team, this is for those interested in red team. Those interested in blue team, we will do something TryHackMe related. So on TryHackMe, we have a SOC lab simulation where you go through and analyze some threats. So that's what we're gonna do in our next session.
With the full text, you can go to him. That's why this. But most of this, like this document, they limit the amount of text you can put onto. Sure, you get. I don't know if we do a shooter.
So the TryHackMe would probably only have an hour, so we have to manage the hour we'd have in our next section. But this is what I would advise those interested in blue team to do. So we'll be splitting ourselves going forward into individuals interested in blue team and those interested in red team. If you click on the practice, you would see these different challenges you can practice on. So SOC simulator, we're doing a SOC simulator, and once it loads up, it gives you details about what you should do and how to go about it. So launch simulator. Let's find an easy one. So we'll start with this. Like, you remember I mentioned Splunk being an industry used tool. So This will train you on how to use Splunk, and the environment looks Splunk very Splunk-like. So it gives you an insight into how Splunk really works. So you start the session and go through the instructions. For blue team, those interested in blue team. So what you have to do here is to find all the true positive. The first, what are true positive? True positive in the SOC environment. These are alerts that are true. And it's like you get an alert that someone is trying to send a malicious file, and it tells you the host machine that malicious file is on. And when you go check the file, if you see a true positive, it means the event was true, the alert was right. But there are sometimes a false positive might happen. Let's say you have a user, an actual user, who is trying to change their password. They've changed it, they got it wrong. They entered the password, they got it wrong. They entered it multiple times and they got it wrong. So the systems flag that account is compromised. It flags it that someone is trying to get into that account. Meanwhile, it's the actual user that is trying to get into the account. In this case, that alert is called a false positive. A false positive because the alert was right. It did the right thing in flagging that scenario, but the user was an actual user who was just mistakenly maybe has forgotten their password, and the system has flagged them. So this protects you. And there's a false negative and there's true negative. False negative is when something that is not supposed to a real alert that the system failed to notify you that that's a real alert. Maybe someone was trying to break into your system, and rather than you seeing that, oh, this person is trying to break in, for example, the user, the hacker or the attacker gets the credentials of an actual user of your system. So if they log into the account, but rather than the system flagging that that's an actual attacker, it does not. So that's a false negative. So the attacker has successfully found a way to bypass your system. So these are some of the terms. There's also true negative. True negative is when the system raises an alert that is false. So these are terms you can go through in your own time. I'm mentioning these terms because those interested in the SOC environment, you need to know some of these terms. So it's going to show you more about it and teach you more about it as you go on. So an example of an alert queue. Now, system has sent an alert to you. And for you to carry out this investigation, you have to add it to your own page, like action. You have successfully taken ownership of this case, so you've decided to handle that case, that alert, and then you can start working on it and seeing, okay, read the instruction and so on and so forth. So this is what the blue team does on a daily basis. A SOC analyst, entry level, this is what they usually do. They check for alerts, they resolve the alerts. So this is the first point of entry into your system. If an attacker can successfully beat this system, this detection system, when you hear intrusion, detection, and monitoring, these are the systems they talk about. If you're in your level 100, from 200 level, 300 level, you start to hear some of these terms. So intrusion IDS, intrusion detection systems. These are Splunk is an intrusion detector system. It's also a event monitoring system as well. So this is an example of what you do as a blue team member, a SOC analyst at the entry level. You read these alerts and you go through them and try to resolve them. I hope everyone is getting me. I know that's a lot of information to take in, but you don't have to rush to understand. You don't have to try to understand everything immediately. As we go on, you understand. So let's go back to our slides. And once you've successfully created your Hack the Box account, your assignment would be to do the Meow lab, solve the Meow lab, and we'll discuss it in our next session, which is, I think, next upper week or so. So, common mistakes beginner makes. Common mistake a lot of beginner makes. You install Kali as your main OS without understanding Linux. You you cannot, as a beginner, start using Kali Linux as your main operating system. No, you have to understand Linux in the first place for you to be able to understand Kali, because Kali is based off of Linux. So the Linux fundamentals and Linux command line, it's very important for every cybersecurity professionals, especially the red team guys. Linux is very important, and the command line is code and everything. I say command line code, command line. When you create your virtual machine, you don't in the case that you're already downloading a pre-built Kali virtual machine, you do not need to allocate the RAM yourself. The RAMs will be already allocated automatically. But you saw the other option we indicated for Kali, which is these installer images. For these installer images, you will be the one to allocate the RAM, the memory space, everything. So, but for this virtual machine, if you decide to go with this option, it would be pre-installed, pre-built, everything set for you already. All you have to do is start using it. So in the case that you're doing it yourself, the minimum recommended RAM for your systems to run successfully without having lags and so on, it's 2 gig. You can set yours to be 4 gig for you to have a better experience as well. And the memory, it's usually advised to set it to 20 gig as well. So a 2 gig RAM, 20 gig memory space.
What about 16 gig RAM?
16 gig. Does your computer have enough space for you to have 16 gig? If you have that, no problem. So, but the minimum advisable is 2 gig. You can decide to do 48 if it's available. The option is available, and if you have the space. Does that answer your question?
Mr. Mario,
Yes.
the system space is 256. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's okay. Well, this is for your labs. This is not your personal computer space. Your personal computer storage is important as well. But when you're setting up your lab, it's recommended your minimum space you allocate. Like, oh, it's like someone when you're designing your particular laptop and they allocated 16 gig RAM to your laptop, you're allocating the same thing to your virtual machine. So the minimum you're required to allocate if you're setting it up yourself, but The pre-built lab you will download already has it set up, so you don't need to worry about that. This is just for you to have the knowledge. That's why I'm explaining this. So the minimum required is 2 gig. You can go beyond for your own virtual machine when you're setting it up yourself. But for this session, we are downloading the pre-built virtual machine labs. So you're good. You don't have to worry about the RAM allocation and all. Does that answer your question?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, you can go ahead and mute your mic. Let's continue to save time. So another mistake is copying commands without understanding them. When it comes to tech, Google is your friend. Google is your best partner in understanding and learning tech. So if you see a command, before you just copy and use it, first of all, go on Google, find out what that command does, what that Linux command does, find out what it does before implementing it in your program. So that is why taking the lab to learn the basic fundamentals of Linux, especially on Let's Defend, is very important, so that you understand the basic commands, what they do, how you can use them, and so on. So, and finally, giving up after first failure. Let me tell you this: you would be confused, you would fail, and you would fail again. You would fail if you've not failed, you've not started learning. And I was learning some malware analysis some time ago, and I analyzed the file. I was trying to find out because some of these files could have over 10,000 lines of traffic. So you have to analyze and find out that that's what makes the job even harder, because you're going through a log that has more than 1,000 lines, some 2,000, some 3,000 lines. And that's when you try to use filter and the rest. I did this lab, I analyzed the malware, and I was so confused as to what I was trying to achieve. So I took my time to go over it again. The confusion doubled. So you're bound to fail, you're bound to get confused, but giving up is not an option. So failure is okay, but giving up is not an option if you really want to learn this. A lot of students give up along the way because they think it's difficult. But once you understand it and once you've gone past the failure phase, it becomes your second nature. So you have to show up consistently and keep doing what you're doing, keep learning. So here are some basic instruction of how to continue after this workshop. So like I said, practice 2 to 3 times per week on the area you've picked. So document what you learn. It's very important to document what you learn so you can go over your notes again at a different time. And join DevSoc Cybersecurity group. So what I mean by this is on the DevSoc server on Discord, ask questions, drop questions on the cybersecurity workshop group, workshop channel, because we learn together. I'm also learning myself, and perhaps your question can help somebody else understand more, even me possible. So ask questions. And another important thing is create a roadmap. Probably as a cybersecurity student, you should have your roadmap of what you're trying to learn, what tools you're trying to learn, what area do you want to specialize in. Important as well. Do you want to be a red teamer or do you want to be a blue teamer? And then you look at the roles under these different teams and say, okay, I'm learning towards a SOC analyst role, or I'm learning towards a junior pen tester role. So you create your roadmap according to this area you've picked. It's very important for you so you're not everywhere And when you graduate, you know the area you want to get a job in and the area you want to work in and the kind of projects you want to do as well. Final message. You do not need to be an expert to start. You do not need to know it to start. It's okay to be the novice, the person that does not know anything. It gives you room to learn. Consistency beats intensity. And there's something Solomon will always say. If you have a problem with your code, if you jam a bug, try go sleep first though. Not kill yourself. Go sleep and come back to do it again. So showing up consistently beats that, oh, I want to stay up 4, 5, 6 hours trying to figure out one thing. No. Take a break, allow your brain to rest and come back to it. Your lab is your training ground. Same way coding, IDE, different things are for software engineers. That's how they learn. For cybersecurity, these labs are your opportunity to learn. They are your training grounds. This is where you learn the actual work and acquire the skill you need as a cybersecurity professional. So your labs should be part of your daily routine, things you look into to get to learn more. And finally, skill comes from repetition. Skill comes from repetition. Do it over and over and over again, and you'll get it. And assignments, like I said earlier, Hack the Box Meow Lab will be the assignment for this week, and we'll go through it again. So these are the objectives. So learn basic enumeration, understand open port, practice using Nmap, identify weak/default credentials. So yeah, that's your assignment, and we'll go through over it next week, and we'll do another lab next week as well. What's coming up next? So far, we're still trying to do more on the lab setup. So we'll explore this platform, HackTheBox and TryHackMe, and your virtual machine as well. We'll explore more of it as we go on. So we'll also learn basic web security guidelines and so on, some networking introductions, and some YouTube tutorials as well to support this journey. And this is just DevSoc final page. Stay connected, and if you need anything, you can email us at devsocnow@gmail.com. Visit our website, devsoc.dev, and our social media is devsoc, Instagram, devsoc.ng. Follow us on Instagram as well. So that brings us to the end of this session. Time for questions. Daniel, you can stop recording. So any questions? I'm sure there's a lot of questions.
Yeah, I have a question concerning this.
Go ahead.
Can you hear me? So
Yes.
what is this desktop box?